What's up, friends? Welcome back to another player interview. I've got Gap with me here today, tank player for Amplify. Gap, why don't you introduce yourself to the people out there?
Hey everyone, I'm Gap. I'm the tank player for Amplify.
There you go.
Yeah, hey,
Awesome. I appreciate you you coming and having a little chat with me today. Appreciate you taking the time. You're kind of got known for your manga at this point. You know, let's start there. What is actually your favorite hero to play in Overwatch?
not Malgabear.
I mean, I figure.
I'm gonna say Ramacha though for sure. I'm gonna say Maracha.
Okay. Some RAM. What do you like about RAM?
It's like you can do so many things at the same time. There's a lot of different playmaking things you can do with his kit. So yeah, I think that's like the main reasons why I think Ramacha is like my favorite.
All right, we're one question. I'm already deviating from script. How did you start off as a tank player, or did you kind of
No.
merge into that role a little bit? How did that happen? How did you end up becoming a tank player?
I started playing like 2021. I don't know if you
Okay.
know Tranquility League at all.
Yeah, you bet.
I was playing DPS and like Diamond. Shadow Dabmaster, if you guys know him, that's a name. I used to be on the team with that guy. And then from there, I played in Bad Patch Mario League on tank. And then I joined a team. Yeah, I think it was like FACEIT League Season 1. It was either Malware or Day by Day, I forget which one, but one of those two. And I just kept playing up from there.
Started as a DPS player though, huh?
Flex
Was it-
DPS.
Was it out of need that you moved to tank, or was there something about the role that you just enjoyed or was appealing?
At the end of Overwatch 1, I grinded like the last 2 seasons on tank. And I think I went from like 3,400 to like 4.3 in like 2 months. So then I was like, okay, let me just keep playing this role.
Yeah, just kind of found your rhythm with that role, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you say you started playing in 2021. How did you go from just being an enjoyer of Overwatch to being a competitor in the scene?
I think, I was just playing with friends a lot of the time. That same core I've been playing with for a while has been on like teams forever, so I'm like really good friends with all of them. So I think as much as like I want to say I was just playing for fun, I think I was just playing like with my friends and just competing, keep
Right.
going up and up and up.
I mean, it was that core friends group that really got you into competition.
Yeah, definitely.
Who made the jump? Like, who was the first one to be like, guys, we should go like play officially or something, as opposed to just playing in ranked games?
I want to say it was either me or Ewan. I think it was like OWCS Stage 1 2024. Because we played open quals for each one. We didn't qual into any of them though, but we were definitely like, we were always like one win away from making it to groups. But other than that, we were just playing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hold on. I needed some of that delicious green tea. I mean, it seems like a lot happened in 2024. Actually, I mean, particularly for yourselves and I mean that core roster. We start on Malware, which you kind of touched on, and on July 3rd, the day by day roster is announced, and that kind of started what seemed to be a big upward trend. I mean, you had Ewan and Crazy Cat are there alongside you. How did that roster come to be, and what did that mean getting picked up by that day by day roster? It seemed like a pivotal moment.
So that core with me, Crazy Cat, Ewan was all a team for Bad Patch Mario League. Or no, actually, it was Kitsune League, season 2, I think.
Okay.
And we ended up winning that season. And I think after, like, yeah, we just won. Let's keep playing together. There's some good chemistry going on. And then I think from there, we just, like, always wanted to compete with each other.
Did once you got picked up, did that day by day acquisition did that feel impactful, or was it just another day at work kind of thing? Looking back at the year, that seems like a pivotal moment.
Yeah, I think Day by Day gave us a lot. I think it was, like, the first actual org that, like, messaged us to, like, pick us up. So that was definitely, like, really cool. But yeah, I think, like, in total, I think Malware just, like, completely moved to Day by Day, so it wasn't that much of a huge shift.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think having, like, an org reach out to us is, like, pretty dope.
I mean, yeah, it's got to be a cool feeling. It's got to be a cool feeling. Okay, so that turns into Amplify at the end of season 2, like kind of right at the end of season 2. I think it wasn't even quite done yet when the change happened. What was the most significant impact of that change? Obviously, a lot of the roster stays the same. You rotated a couple DPS between season 2 to today, but did y'all know that this could go as far as it was? When you got acquired by Amplify, did it have that something special about it?
I feel like the big thing that changed is Legua was the coach for Amplify, and Ripple was saying, yeah, if you guys join Amplify, Legua's going to be your coach, and that's that. So I think having Legua, he really grew into our shoe, I think, a ton. And he definitely helped us out actually so much, and we're grateful for him. But yeah, I think the biggest change when we got from Day by Day to Amplify was definitely Legua for sure.
Did Day by Day have a coach, or was it more player ran?
It was more player ran. I think Malware we had Deer as coaching, but I think when I think we ended up dropping Deer. Deer quit coaching once we got picked up by Day, and it was just player taught. And then Amplify was with Legua.
Yeah, I imagine that is quite a change. It's quite an impactful change. What was one thing? Can you was there anything on top of your head that Legua really did to kind of help reinforce the already existing synergy or help y'all grow?
I mean, I think all the way leading up to OWCS quals, he was always there. No matter what time of day, he was always there, ready to help us out whenever we need. Even if it wasn't for the game necessarily, anything he would help us out with.
That's awesome. I mean, we all need a little help sometimes, no doubt, no doubt. Moving forward, okay, so that season 3. You finished 3rd place. It's just one spot shy of Master Division, going into 2025. But you go into 2025 and accomplish one of the biggest upsets, in the history of modern era Overwatch esports. Coincidentally, against a team that has the other biggest upset in modern era Overwatch esports. What happened in that offseason? What was the energy like going to those OWCS qualifiers back in January? And what was the energy like, coming up with that big win over Supernova?
I want to say, for FACEIT League, was it season 3? You were saying, I think we lost to Nightmare Rotation, and they played their silly stuff, right? And then we ended up scrimming Alternate, which I think won. Yeah. FACEIT League, or maybe it was Nightmare Rotation that won, but we scrimmed them like a week after, and we I think we 7-0'd them, and we're like, okay, it was just a fluke with Nightmare Rotation. Let's just continue to play and see what goes. And I think we ended up picking Phone too, so I think Phone is a great piece for that weekend.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Was that? So the scrims were just going really well at the end of the year. Had a lot of confidence going into 2025.
Yeah, I would say mostly. Also, I think like an hour before every time we'd be there, like voting, looking at material. And really trying to, be there and just improve as much as we can.
That's awesome. So just upping just everything, upping the amount of prep, the amount of time involved, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It paid off. You end up, even though you fell short of Master, you end up not needing it. You skip Master Division altogether and go straight into OWCS with that win. How did that feel? Tell me about that weekend. Tell me about your thoughts and feelings on that weekend, making it in qualifying for OWCS.
I want to say, we always had our comp that we played, and I think it was a really good meta read from us. But also we played it super well. We had, a lot of coordination with that comp, because that comp in general that we played, if you aren't coordinated as a team, you're not going to succeed with that. Mm-hmm. And I think, we would always be looking what's the best thing we can do here, after scrims or whatever. And we'd always be talking about how to improve.
It sounds like making OWCS was, obviously was a big deal, but the way you're talking about it's we just need to get better. We just need to get better. Is that kind of the mindset? It's just improving. It's not letting it go to your head kind of thing?
Absolutely. I think, if you want to do it, you got to do it. Like, you already have to know in your head, we got this. I think if you're in your head, you're not going to do it. But I think us as a team, we were all like, let's just keep grinding, you know?
That's awesome. And so, okay. Now looking back, now this kind of does lead nicely into my next question, because that does signify a lot of growth. And now looking back a year ago, I mean, so it's been basically a year since the malware day by day start, right? It was, we were in season 1 of FACEIT League this time in 2024. Looking back at yourself in 2024 and where you are today, what do you think is the biggest difference between you as a competitor, between being a T3 player and being, the OWCS tank player sitting here today?
I want to say it was less of myself and people around me. I think
Really,
us as a whole, as a group, we work so well together. And I think even if it wasn't me, improving a ton, everyone else around me made, everyone look better because we're all like so coordinated.
Oh, I think you sell yourself short, my friend. I think you sell yourself short. But that's awesome. That's awesome. You got to give love to the friends. It's team effort, no doubt. No doubt. All right. Oh, got to go down the second page. We're getting close. We're almost done, my friend. We're almost done.
I know what it is,
Okay, so talking about OWCS Stage 1, from the outside, it looked like there's some tremendous growth over a very short span. And you talk about, the coordination is one of your strong suits of, of this team and that synergy. What is another area you feel you really made strides and improvement over that short OWCS Stage 1?
I want to say trusting everyone. I think, the way we come is basically like independence. If you want to make a play, we're going to all listen to you and we're going to do exactly what you want. So I think just listening to each other, like, is a big part of why we made anywhere.
How important is that trust?
It's super important. I think no team can. If you don't have trust, if you can't trust your right hand man, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's awesome. What a wonderful answer. I mean, it does feel like that trust is everything in game. I mean, from comms to mechanics to everything, right? I mean, it certainly seems that way again, I'm not a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, I think, cores stay together because of that reason.
Right. A year from now, so April 2026, what is something that you would like to look back on today and be like, I'm so proud I improved in this area?
Can I say, bro? I mean, I definitely think improving on like dive tanks would be a big part.
Okay.
I think I'm better on the ground tanks for now, but I'm trying my best to improve on dive tanks. Also, I'm doing college, so I'm just focusing on school and Overwatch at the moment. So hopefully I'm still in college next year. I'm an engineering major, so classes are starting to ramp up.
Yeah. That's a lot to balance. I mean, just finding that balance, I think, is an admirable goal, my friend. And yeah, that's awesome. I mean, in an engineering degree, that's impressive. That's impressive, my friend. Okay, let's talk about some goals. I mean, you got OWCS promotion relegation matches this weekend. So, I mean, short-term goals there seem pretty obvious, but what are some goals for the rest of 2025, both with Amplify and just kind of you yourself?
Just improving on myself, even like in life. I feel like I find it a little bit hard to struggle between like finding that balance between like social life, doing classes and Overwatch. So maybe just finding a better balance in life. But as far as like Overwatch goes, I definitely want to stay with Amplify and continue competing with them. So whatever I can do to make that happen, I'm gonna do it.
Awesome. Hey, best of luck. I have no doubt, and we'll continue to see y'all excel throughout the rest of the year. So, I'm a big fan. Speaking of fans, where can fans find you online, my friend?
You can find me on Gap_W, Twitch, Twitter, anything. I sometimes stream. I get a little lazy with streaming though, but you can catch me there.
Awesome. Hey, I appreciate you coming in and having a chat and taking the time. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.